long time.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been out there quite a while.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, my work is called Temples of Golden Light.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I started to channel them, about 11 years ago now.
So, okay, let's get into that. I want to hear about that. 11 years ago, that'd have been what, 2010, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's give it another minute and a half.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Oh yeah, they're starting to come in
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
like to talk about my work, Temples of Golden Light.
yeah. We, this isn't a normal talk show. It's not really a Q&A. You can ask questions too. It's just more of a conversation. We
Yeah,
just get to know each other in front of everybody.
yeah,
We have a lot of emphasis on the story, the transformation, the hero's journey. So, but yeah, we'll just organically evolve the conversation into
okay.
naturally, you know. So
Yeah.
it'll be. We got 31 people in the house, so it's still coming.
Oh,
Uh, just a couple quick things. I got a beautiful note last night from a lady, and I can't remember her name, but she said I've been watching for 3 years, and she sent a nice contribution, and she just, just reminded me of how this is being done. I
yeah,
always say that, thank you for the love and support and contributions that keep us going by the seat of our pants every day. Somebody once wrote me and said, "You need to stop saying that. That's limiting." But that's how the 5D works. That's how the new earth works. Nobody has a savings account. you
yeah.
just you
It's
just
all
get
about
what you need when you need it. What's that?
it's all about manifesting and creating.
Uh-huh. You get what you need when you need it.
Oh,
And it's
absolutely.
amazing how that happens because I don't even look uh, at the account. I just
Yeah,
it's been a while since anything's bounced, but but yeah, I just wanted to give that gratitude out and also tell people we're still getting suppressed quite a bit for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So
really.
it takes a little while for people to come in, like 10 or 15 minutes, and I apologize for that. There's really nothing we can do, but if you want to share it to a page or to a group one
Yeah,
time, that's cool. We don't usually ask that because we
I
just
will
look for
do.
it to happen organically. So
Definitely.
we've got this beautiful sister with us, Linda Jarrett. She's been out in the field for a long time. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with her. Temples of Golden Light is her affiliation. But we were just talking before the live audience started to join us, and you were saying that you started channeling 11 years ago. What was life like before 11 years ago? Did the channeling come with the wake up experience, or have you always been this strange?
Oh goodness. Well, I've been. I have to go back some years now. I've been clairvoyant since I was 24 years old. So that was many, 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 many years ago. I lost a baby. She died when she was 8 months old,
Mhm.
and that happened. But the week before she died, I started seeing clairvoyantly, and wherever I went, I was just seeing people's guides and seeing,
Really?
dead people. And
Seeing dead people. Has that lasted? Is that still happening to
yeah,
you?
well, and then she died, and I was just out of control, and I had to go and see what they called years ago a faith healer
Uh,
because I just couldn't stop seeing people's guides and seeing people in spirit. And I thought I was going around the bend. It was when there was a record out years ago called "They're Coming to Take You Away," haha. And I really thought at
Isn't
that
that the story? Isn't that the story of all of us here, though?
I know. I mean, really thought I was going mental, and that's when I started seeing all those years ago. And then, of course, I had my family, and years later, I started to train in healing. I became a Reiki master. I did reflexology. I did Indian head massage. I think a lot of people start doing things like that, in the
Yeah.
healing fraternity. They'll start doing that. And and then I just went on and I started to channel and I started to sit with groups. I'm a meditation teacher. And I only started really doing the work I do now about 20 years ago, to be honest. As I got
Wow.
older, I did it more and more. So I've been doing it for about 20 years now. So
Wow.
I'm clairvoyant, I can clear past lives. I'm a meditation teacher, I'm a healer, I can clear parallel lives, alternative realities, different dimensions. And then about 11 years ago, a client came to see me and she kept seeing this big golden temple. And I couldn't see it. But then a few days later, I did see this huge golden temple. And my guidance was that it was in the etheric over Istanbul, Turkey, in Europe. And then I started to see more and more and more temples of golden light all around the world. And I thought, oh my goodness. So it took me some years, to be honest, to sit down and work out where all these temples were, why they were there, what they were doing, and the energy within the temples. So I channeled 144 and then I wrote a book about that. But
Yeah.
I've channeled even more since that. The temples are fifth dimensional. So that's the book that I wrote, and that explains where they all are. The temples are fifth dimensional, they're for the new age, for the new golden age, you see.
So let's back up a little bit. We'll get back into I think you're up to, I think if I read the message correctly, you're up to 200 temples of golden light.
There's
This is-
212.
yeah, 212. So you're 24, and you go through this trauma, this period, and but you start to be clairvoyant.
Mhm.
You go to a faith healer. You retained the clairvoyance. You retained it.
Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
see even more now.
Okay. So then you start getting into Reiki, which you're right, that seems to be a doorway for many people in the past.
Yeah.
So then were you at what point did you start getting information in regard to what's happening now? Was
Um,
it
it
right away?
it yeah, it was about 10, 11 years ago.
Okay. So about the time the channeling starts coming in, you
Yeah.
start understanding that this isn't really just about you. This is about a collective awakening that we're all
Oh,
in right now. Yeah.
it it
Okay.
it the temples are here for humanity, and they're here for Mother Earth as well, because she's been through a lot. So the temples are here for Mother Earth as well as humanity. Yeah, they're in the etheric. You see, they're like we have chakras.
Hmm.
They're there, but you can't see them. Um, Temples are in the etheric, but people that are clairvoyant or sense or feel, they will know that they're there. They'll feel the energy of them, you see. They're over sacred sites,
Yeah.
over
Now,
ley lines, all sorts of places.
now, have you found in your journey as you're setting up these temples of golden light, have you found that you have collaborators that are incarnated? Are you working with the non-physical aspects?
Oh, I've met people that have seen the temples, I run meditational groups and I do workshops, and they've all seen the temples. And I do sessions with people on Zoom around the world, America, Canada, Australia,
Hmm.
Egypt, and they've all seen the temples. They know that the temples exist.
How
So
much? How
well,
much? Yeah. I'm sorry. There's a little bit of a lag. I'm sorry. Uh, how much of the interaction uh, that these people have had with the golden temples? Uh, uh, I'm sorry, the temples of golden light. How much of it has been in the etherics, and how much of it? Well, I know it's all in the etherics, but how much of it has been through distance versus actually being in the location?
oh, people have felt healing from these temples where they're situated around the world. People have felt their energy, their healing energy. And when I do meditations, I can connect to any of them around the world. And people that are sitting with me or on Zoom with me, I do a lot of work on Zoom, they feel the energy of the temples. They sense them and feel them. If they don't see them, they are aware of their presence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the temples connect to the ascended masters, you see, and archangels and angels and the Native American or First Nations,
Yes.
and the Aborigines and the Maoris. You know, the temples connect to all of the pure energies on the planet
Yes.
and off the planet.
Yeah, of course. It's all connected. Yeah, and so it's funny how these shows always line up in synchronicity or in sequence with what's happening, especially as time goes on. So the last night, the lucid dreams and the dimensional experiences have been increasing rapidly for many people, and for me, especially over the last few weeks.
Mm.
And last night, I experienced a lot of things, but one of the things that really came in was this message. There's a lot of talk about the galactics.
Mm.
And I understand that the galactics are facilitators of this period that we're going through. Obviously, we're comprised of everything, but in that fuzzy space between the physical and the non-physical, they're a big part. But in my early awakening, and I think in many people's, there's been a strong angelic, divine essence type presence, ascended masters, angelics, archangelics, and so on. But last night, the message came in really, really huge, which I hadn't seen in a long time.
Mm.
And that was the force of the angelic kingdom and the archangelics, how involved they are in this transition we're calling ascension. And then when I looked to see who was coming on, and I picked up the energy immediately, you're just pure angelic. Like you're a conduit for what I was getting, which may have been part of the reason that I received that information last night. What's your relationship with those aspects that you commune with, that you're connected to? I know they're angelic and archangelic and so on, but can you tell us a little bit about that connection and what you've learned from them?
Well, the temples of golden light are overlit by Archangel Michael and his twin flame, Archangel Faith. And all and each and every one of the temples around the world is surrounded by new angels called the rainbow angels. And now the rainbow angels are ninth dimensional, so they're really, really high. And they're overlit by two new archangels to our planet called Archangel Metaziel and Archangel Honoriel. And they work under Archangel Metatron, you see.
Wow.
You have a close connection with, I get.
No, the funny thing is I've only had a couple episodes with Metatron, and I don't know why that is, but it was funny because I was
It's closer
saying,
to you than you think. That's what I'm
oh, I
getting.
know, I know, I have a history with the archangels, but
Oh, dear.
particularly Archangel Michael, who was actually really big in the transmissions last night. But yeah, I was going to ask you too, because I've had this experience since my real reawakening occurred around the same time you started channeling, which was in 2011, early 2011, and but in the first couple of years, I did a lot of, I guess, escorting souls into
Oh, yeah.
from I guess like the fourth dimension into the fifth dimension. Basically, they used to call it that time metaphorically the healing heaven.
Mm.
And there was always this stairwell, right? There was this stairwell. I would walk them up, and it was lined with angels. And
Yeah.
these angels didn't speak, but when they opened their mouth, rainbow colors would come out in music. And I don't know, and the only reason I mention that is because I don't know if those are the rainbow angels that you're talking about, but it just reminded me of it.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the rainbow angels have been around for a while. It's just that they are new. So a lot of people, well, to be honest, I don't know anyone else that does work with the rainbow angels, but they have rainbow coloured wings, you see.
Mm,
They're not white wings, or they could be yellow and pale blue, or they could be lilac and pink, or literally all the 7 rainbow colours. They are quite different. They're not your normal
hmm
white-winged angels that everybody sort of can relate to. So they have different coloured wings, all colours of the rainbow, but they're suitable for the energy that we're receiving and about to receive. But the angels, they play a very important part within the temples of golden light. I mean, all of the archangels connect to the temples. So Archangel Raphael, Mother Mary, Archangel Shamuel and Charity, all of them, Archangel Uriel and Aurora, Archangel Zadkiel, and
mm,
they're all, and there's a huge amount of influx on the planet of angels,
yes.
all from all the realms of the angels. There's a huge amount of influx from the angels because they are trying to help as many people as they can at the moment
Yeah.
because of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I picked, I wasn't surprised last night when that came in. It'd been coming in. You know how something will happen and then you'll go, oh, I get now why 5 days ago this happened and 4 days ago this happened. So they were creeping in, but they really came in strong last night. And one of the messages, which I've heard before, was to ask, just to ask, uh, because almost like they can't come in to a greater degree unless we ask.
You have
Uh,
to
so
ask.
that was one thing I was
Yeah.
basically a takeaway that I got to maybe mention on these shows. The other thing was that I got the strong impression, which I've gotten before, but again, this was, as time goes on, everything becomes clearer,
Mm.
especially now. And that was there were many angelics that were incarnated here
Mm.
uh, within the bodies,
Mm.
uh, specifically for this moment that we find ourselves in now, because it's such a seminal moment in the universal expansion. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, of course, years ago, people didn't think that the angels reincarnated, but I do honestly believe that they do. I know people, humans, do reincarnate as angels. They've been angels and they reincarnate. And I also believe that some animals, they come also from the angelic realm and reincarnate to help people that they're with. Cats and dogs, I do believe that they also come from the angelic realms, and that's why you get different animals with different energies. Some of them have come from the angelic realm to help people here.
Yeah,
But yeah, people do incarnate. They come from the angelic realm, especially now with what we're going through, the shift into the fifth dimension. Yeah, lots are here. Way
yeah.
more people think.
And I wonder
They don't
too, we'll
always
move.
know, but they don't know themselves.
Yes, I've run into a few,
Oh,
no
okay.
doubt.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I want to ask you one more thing. We can move on to something else, but I wanted to ask you because I just have a curious mind. And your relationship with the angelics is obviously solid as a rock. I'm just curious, do you have any interactions or any information in regard to the galactics in your experience and or their relationship with the angelics?
Yeah, yeah. Um, with my work, the Palladians connect to the temples. So there's the Syrians, so the Andromedans, Venusians. I mean, a lot of the galactics do connect to the temples of golden light, because the temples connect to the whole of this universe, and then they connect to the 7 universes that surround this universe. So yeah, all of the galactics do connect as well.
Yeah.
The temples incorporate so many energies, all the gods and goddesses, the Grecian gods, you know, the Indian
Yeah.
gods and goddesses, and every single pure energy on the planet and off the planet.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the galactics do. And I
Yeah.
speak that language as well.
That doesn't surprise me. I get the feeling from my own encounters over the years, especially with what's coming in lately. Without getting into a whole lot, I'll probably just do a solo on this. But I get the feeling that those galactics that are closest to us, let's just say in proximity in the etheric field, some of those that you've mentioned are very prominent: Andromedans, Arcturians, Sirians, Pleiadians, so on. That they are really closely connected to us, and that, I guess, like for instance, in this example with the temples, that they tap into the temples for the same reason and in the same way we can. In other words, to further their soul development, to gain, to gain information and so on. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with the galactics, of course, they are higher vibration than humans. I mean, the Palladians are 5th dimensional, the Syrians are 6th dimensional, and many people know that in the days of ancient Egypt, the pharaohs came from the 6th dimension, and they all came from Sirius, the star Sirius. So that's why they came with their clairvoyant gifts and their healing gifts, and they used to channel as well. Of course, the Andromedans are 7th dimensional, so all of the galactics are higher energetically than we are here.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are 5th dimensional in the way they think, look, create, but some people aren't, so they may not understand that. But a lot of people are 4th dimensional at the moment. Very few people are 3rd dimensional. Well, that I know, but it could be different for other people.
Hmm.
So they are much higher dimensionally. So they are more loving, you know, and they're usually always telepathic, and
Yeah.
they don't have the sort of, they don't have any money, so life is very different for them, you know, with no money, because money is what creates the divide within everything, doesn't it? I mean, without money, there's no power.
Yeah.
Is that nobody's got any power over anyone else if there's no money? So I think the galactics, they come from a different perspective, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. And I also get that they each have different specialties. Um,
Yeah.
I've noticed that in interacting on my own and also just talking to other people. Uh, and there seems to be like a higher level of, let's just say, unveiling, that, we often think about the unveiling, the ascension, or whatever you want to call it, being something that's unique to us here on Earth.
Mm.
And, I'm getting that not only is our relationship with our galactic family going to become unveiled, but also even their own strengths and weaknesses, which are somehow or another connected to our own expansion and growth. Like we're all in it together. Does that make sense to you? Do you have
Yeah,
any?
yeah, we are all in it together. And also we will be drawn and attract the similar energies to ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I work with people, I do help them connect to their star angelic soul family. I
Okay.
do that quite a lot. And they connect to the Palladians and the Andromedans and the Syrians and the Arcturians as well. I'm feeling the Arcturians want I'm feeling them quite strongly while I'm talking to you. The Arcturians, of course, they are very good healers with their healing chambers. They
Yeah.
get quite warm and they're coming in quite strongly. So the
Yeah, I've had some encounters with them since 2018. They came in and talked to me about 5D commerce.
Mm,
They did some healing on me. They came and talked to me about 5D commerce several times,
mm,
being that you know to uh, how to maintain Soulogy, because at the time I had no money. I mean, you know, I still don't, but I mean, it was much rougher. You know, like I didn't have a place to live, and you know, just a lot of different things. But they basically said, or they basically exposed me to the idea of operating on faith, pay it forward, uh, a frequency that's based on the honor system, where people, you know, nobody gets taxed or nobody gets charged. And I have to say, it's been a slow ascending, you know, uh, frequency, but it's never gone backwards. It's always slowly, you know. And again, like I said at the beginning of the show, if something happens, there's always something always seems to happen. Something always seems to come through, and you can pay the bill, you know. But yeah, they're obviously very prominent in many of our lives. I was just going to ask you right before you said that the Arcturians want to come in. I was just going to ask you if you wanted to connect and or in any way, shape or form, and I'll just leave that to you. And there's no pressure, no, you know, whatever you feel like is resonates or aligns.
oh, what connect with you and tune in? Or
Yeah, tune in. I mean, obviously the Arcturians have something to say, but I don't know. However you want to do it, if you want to do it, whatever feels right to you. I mean, if they're there, is that something you want to look into, or
uh,
anything else?
I'm just very aware that there's a lot of Arcturians around you.
I got you.
I can I can see 4 around you, but sometimes there's 6, and I
Hmm.
think in one of your aspects, you are an Arcturian,
Hmm.
actually, and they have the most amazing healing chambers, but I get in one of your aspects, you are, because, of course, we're all multidimensional, so we don't just have this
Of
physical
course.
body, you know, the physical body is the vehicle for the soul, and the soul is the vehicle for the spirit, and everybody is multidimensional, so we've all got different aspects. But one of your aspects is quite strong in the Arcturian energy, but also there's this very strong aspect of you in Sirius, the star
Yes.
system of Sirius, I get, and you were here quite a lot in ancient Egypt, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, this is all validation.
Oh, is it?
I Yeah, I actually had an experience with the Arcturian.
Mm,
It would have been after, no, it would have been right before they came in and started talking to me about
mm,
5D commerce. Actually, I had, now that you're telling me this, years ago, 10 years ago, I had two, I guess you would call them severe illness episodes,
yeah.
and these six blue light beings came
Mm,
in.
mm,
They didn't tell me they were Arcturians. They said that the name was blue light healers. And I
mm,
called on them
mm.
one other time. They came one time, then I called on them again. And then I called on them about 3 weeks ago because I got severely ill. And
Right.
they came. And I have a feeling that those are the six you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I had another experience where several aspects materialized in the bedroom with Morgan and I. And
Yeah.
two of them literally walked into my back. And one of them was a Alpha Centaurian, and one was this
Yeah.
Syrian who
Yeah.
even gave me a name.
Mm.
But yeah, so that all resonates quite a bit. Now, when you do the sessions with the Temple of Golden Light, can
Mm.
you just tell us how does that go? Do you open up your field? Obviously, you have 212 temples to choose from. You say you connect them to their star family and so on. But can you just give us a description of how that works for you?
Well, the thing is, when I do workshops and when I have meditation groups, I always start off doing a chakra clearing. So I basically take people through an opening meditation and I clear all their chakras and rebalance them, because it's very easy for people to get out of sync, especially with their heart chakra and their solar plexus and their
So you're like a cosmic chiropractor.
yes, in a way, energetically, yeah. And then I am able to clear people's auric field, because of course people's auric field gets dumped on, So
Yeah.
I do that, and then I will go into a particular temple. I'm on YouTube every Sunday morning, English time at 10 a.m. And it depends. I mean, the past 2 weeks, I've connected to 2 of the temples in Australia, because Australia really needs help at the
Yeah.
moment, but, So I connected to the Sydney Temple of Golden Light, but it's interesting because it's not over the city of Sydney, it's actually 2 hours away in the Blue Mountains. That's where the temple is.
Wow.
They couldn't put the temple right over Sydney, so it's had to go in the etheric of the Blue Mountains, which is a 2-hour drive away. Because Australia's basically the Aborigines are the custodians of Australia, so they want to help. So I connected with the Sydney Temple. Then Sunday just gone, yesterday, I connected to the Margaret River Perth Temple of Golden Light, which is a crystalline Aboriginal temple. But all the temples are overlit by Divine Mother, you see.
Mhm.
So I will always do whatever I'm meant to do, wherever the energy is needed, then I will bring forward that temple to help the people in that city and to help the people of that area, of that country. Because then I connected to other temples in Australia. So there's 6 altogether. But there isn't one over Melbourne at the moment. It's been created, but it's not been brought down yet, because the energy below needs to change before that temple can come down more, you see.
Mm.
For the temples to come down more, the energy has to be quite clear below it.
Right.
That's why we've gone from 144 to 212 now. Because the energy has to be clearer for it to come down, and then as it's coming down, it actually purifies the energy below. Because a few years ago, myself and my husband went to Sicily, and the temple there in the etheric of Palermo, overlit by St. Francis of Assisi, as the temple was coming down, because I'd activated it, there was a monsoon rain. I mean, the rain, it stopped the whole of the traffic in Sicily, and the rain rose up, the water rose up to about 4 foot, and all the drains were clogged. They couldn't cope with the amount of rain. But what was happening was, as the temple was moving down, the temple was purifying the whole area and getting rid of the mafia energy, you see.
Mm.
Sicily, of course, is a very big mafia area. So it was getting rid of, because when you have monsoon rains, I believe it's because there's a lot of negativity coming down from the ethers, you see, clearing that area. So that was, oh my God, because the water rose up to 3 to 4 feet and all the cars stopped over Palermo, in Palermo. You just couldn't do anything. So that's what happened when one of the temples came down.
Far
And
out.
even with the first temple, Istanbul, we went there, and it was very weird what happened. We flew in one airport and we flew out of another airport. And to come back on the Sunday morning, we drove in a taxi over Bosphorus Bridge, and it was empty, completely empty, and everything was peaceful and quiet. And then we got on the plane and got home the next day, and we found out there were riots on the bridge and some people died. And I think that's because the temple came down over the city of Istanbul, and so the darkness came up, and that caused the riots, you see.
Mm.
Black and white, light and dark, so it caused the riot. So I've been to lots of places where things have happened when the temples have come down, and I wrote about that in my book, what happened when we visited certain places. I mean, not all the time, but
Yeah.
that's two examples of what happened
So
when the temples did come down.
so obviously obviously there's a relationship between the temples coming down and the physical reality
Yeah.
that it's coming down uh, to anchor into.
Mm.
But would you say that there is a relationship between, let me put this a different way, that based on the souls that are in a specific region where a temple will be coming, that the souls in that region as a collective have to raise the frequency on their own to a certain point in order for the temple to come down?
Well, yeah, the temples, I mean, a lot of them are over sacred sites where the energy is good anyway, or they
Hmm.
could be on ley lines. And it is more the people that have done the work and help to raise their own vibration. They are the ones that tend to feel, sense, or see the temples. But also, equally, the temples help people with everything, with healing, with clarity, helping people to believe in themselves, be self confident, to be balanced, to be in harmony, to be all the positive qualities. So, I think that they are called ascension temples. They are
Yeah.
there to help people,
Yeah.
people that give out love, get love back, and people that are grateful. The temples are there to help people raise their own vibration. And people can do that through meditation or contemplation, or
Hmm.
just go on a walk. If you people go on a walk in nature and they can connect
Yeah.
with the temple because they set the intention. So they can do that as well. They don't have to meditate. You can just go on a
Yeah.
walk, be peaceful.
Yeah, I like that method better. So,
And
so
to ground as well.
well, one of the things I've noticed too, and I wonder if you could speak to this because you've been doing this so long. I want to say since around November of 2019, there seemed to be kind of a shift because obviously there's a lot of energy practitioners that come on the show,
Mm,
and that was practitioners that were modifying their modalities or even dropping modalities or picking up new modalities. And I guess really that the cause of that, in a way, that might not be the right word, but there was a difference in the clientele. There was a difference in the people that were walking in the door to have a session with them, so to speak, that were becoming more self-aware, and even to the point where they might be having two, three, four, five, six sessions with the people. They were now having one or two. Have you seen an evolution represented in your clientele that might be representative of what's happening collectively?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I tend to attract the people that are already well on
Mhm.
their way, really, of their ascension pathway. I don't generally attract people that kind of have just stepped on the pathway.
Mhm.
I'm the sort of person that they come to when they're on the path. Because a lot of people that are on the path, they don't have anyone they can share with. They don't have anyone they can talk to because they could be with a partner that doesn't understand about spiritual stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So quite often they come to me for healing, but they will come to me to talk as well because they feel so alone in what they're going through. So
That's why we do this show. This is where all the crazy people
yeah,
hang out.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
in fact, that message I got today from this, I'm gonna have to try to locate her because I can't always locate the people that come through PayPal. But that's what she said. She said, "Oh my God, I thought literally." She said, "I thought I was crazy,
Mm.
and for 3 years I've been watching, and it's been giving me confidence, and I'm not alone, and so on." So yeah, I think that's a really good point that you're making.
Mm.
A lot of times we think about a healing session as being a tune up and the different things you were talking about.
Mm.
But you're right. I think I have a feeling you're right that maybe the biggest thing is being able to speak openly about somebody's personal experiences and not being ridiculed, made fun of, or laughed at, or whatever, and being accepted.
Mm. Oh, yeah. I mean, so many people I know, uh, they could be in a relationship, you see, and they can't talk to anyone at all about what they feel or sense or know or see. Or they could be on their own. I get a lot of people on their own as well, and they've got nobody to talk to about any of this stuff. And as you say, this is why people listen to your show, because you're confirming what people have thought, but they may not know anybody to share this with, and they think they're going nuts. They think
Hmm.
they're bonkers, and
Well,
they
some of us have.
yeah, well, they think that even though they may be seeing sense in themselves, they think that, oh, it's just a dream, or is their imagination, or
Hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah,
So it's very interesting what you say. People, yeah, and also people, the world, the 3D world, it's so false, and a lot of people are seeing through that.
yes,
They're
very
they're
much so.
seeing through, you know, the TV programs and, the news and
Yeah,
the false media, and they're seeing all through that. So they want to be doing something else in the evening, like listening to your show and listening to things that they can make sense of,
yeah, and
and not.
listening to themselves, right?
Mm,
I
yeah.
gotta I gotta ask you this question because there's no coincidences, right? Things pop in, and
Mm.
so who are, if you know, the angels? I'm going to say the 12-foot angels with the white wings with the golden crust, like it looks like gold dust on the the outer edges of the wings. Is that a specific angelic type of energy, or do you
Oh
know?
gosh. I mean, there's so many different angels, but the ones with the gold on, um, there are certain energies, ascension angels. Ascension angels have completely gold wings, or if it's not completely gold wings, then I keep getting this Archangel Metatron
Mm,
and his angels.
yeah,
That's what I keep, because you have quite a lot of these sort of, the higher beings working with you.
yeah,
So you have Archangel Metatron. What I'm getting is it's his angels, and they're white and gold.
yeah,
The ascension angels are pure gold. But also you hold the energy within you of Melchizedek as well, because he's
mm.
coming in now as well. There's
It's a
quite
party.
quite a lot going on around you. Yeah, you have the energy, you Lord Melchizedek. Yeah, he's overlighting you as well, of course.
Mm,
Um,
I love it.
fellow Melchizedek. Yeah, have you met him?
I have a brother who comes on the shows. He
Right.
has a pretty strong incarnated soul family where they do some really powerful grid work and different things.
Mm.
Uh, so he changed his last name to Melchizedek, and then he had just come on this past week. But he had a friend come in who also changed his name to Melchizedek, who had never been on a live,
Yeah.
and it was extraordinary. It was about 3 days ago, 4 days ago,
Mm.
and I have a feeling this is uh, probably why that presence is so prominent right now. Because when he came on, it was a totally different show. We've done 3,000 plus shows,
Right.
and I can't even tell you what he spoke about. All I can tell you is he was speaking, then he would do some light language. It would just come out naturally.
Mm.
But because I'm very sensitive to the field in the vortex that this is, this is, and the response from the people. was incredible. It was tears. It was not even knowing what was happening. I mean, so I've got a feeling that there was a huge injection of the Melchizedek energy, and I'm very thankful that yes, that
Yeah,
their presence is here.
he's very strong with you actually at the moment. Yeah, Melchizedek. He
Yeah,
wants you to know that he's helping you.
yeah, yeah. I got a big message last night, and again, it was one I hadn't heard in a long, long time. I probably hadn't heard it since to the degree it was actually bigger, but to the degree that I did the last time was Lionsgate 2016, and they
Right.
just filled up my house. And but they let me know last night because obviously the last week or so, and I want to ask you about that. The last week or so, I want to say maybe the last 10 days have been extremely powerful and extreme for people. I say this from my own experiences, and then of course being involved with the community.
Mm,
But basically came in and said, "Listen, here's what's going on. Uh, it looks pretty rough.
mm,
Here's some insight. Here's some new information." There was a lot of validation and connectivity with other people incarnated that are in my circles. Let's just say,
mm,
you know how that works. But they, to your what you reminded me of, what you were talking about, they were saying, and I think this goes, as the individual goes, so goes the collective. But they said, just understand how much support that you have. There's nothing to be afraid of.
mm.
Uh, this is these things that are being pointed out that you're coming into revelation of, which might be like attacks or dark energy and stuff. Don't worry about it. You got it. Your your field of support is as strong as your faith. That's what I was told.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, humanity is going through so much at the moment, and I think at the moment, I think a lot of people are angry at the moment, and particularly men, I think, are angry at the moment, and I think that's to do with all the COVID stuff
Yeah,
and frustration. But I think also it's I think sometimes with people, if they have issues and they haven't dealt with them, then that can come out as being angry, you see, because there's so many cosmic portals opening up with more and more light coming down that people have to deal with it. They have to cope with it. They have to adjust that energy. It has to integrate into their light bodies and integrate into their physical body.
yeah,
So I think there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anger with people at the moment,
yeah,
but they
yeah,
can't help it. They have to deal with it the best way that they can, and it comes out that way. It can come across
yeah.
as anger.
Yeah, I picked up on a lot of that. I see a lot of people, and even prominent people. When I say that, people that are not so much in the background,
Mm,
and I can see the struggle.
mm.
We all have obviously programs or blind spots, but there's some pretty severe purging going on, and it's
Oh, yeah.
interesting. It's interesting, and you make a really good point. That's another thing I was shown too, how the whole thing with COVID and all the things that come from it, mandates and jabs and all that, and all the back and forth about it. Uh, I was shown, like, look behind it. This is actually a great catalyst.
Yeah.
It's just the physicality of the light
Mm,
pushing all this stuff up,
mm.
which was kind of comforting. I knew that, but to actually know it deeper, I was like, okay, I can see these things. I have less of a charge now, and if it's happening to me, it's got to be happening to other people, I would think. I gotta ask you too, because you've been doing this so long, and I think you would stick out no matter where you went. I would imagine, because obviously we're in human form for a reason, which is
Yeah.
another thing that was reiterated last night was everybody that's in a human body, that's the primary purpose, is the human experience. So you can't get away from being human, basically.
No,
Uh, But I would imagine in your case that with the level of downloads and experience that you probably stick out like a sore thumb sometimes. Has it been a struggle for you to be human and to interact with people? Uh,
No, no, not really. I mean, the thing is, um, I have I have some lovely young grandchildren.
mm,
I've got little Daisy, and she's nearly 3, and then William's 5, and they keep me very grounded.
yeah.
And I've got 3 other grandchildren, but they're in Australia. So of course in the UK, we haven't been able to go anywhere, and nobody can get into Australia at the moment. So I haven't been able to get over there, but normally I do. And I think having family is very grounding. 'Cause I've got 2 daughters and a son, and so I kind of I play a different role with them. You see, the role from working is different as people family, you know, and they're not always aware of what I do as well. So they don't.
They-
I don't. They know, a meditation teacher.
it's like it's like
They
having
don't know
Glinda.
everything I do.
It's like having Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, as your grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, they're going to figure it out, though. They'll probably find your magic wand somewhere.
Oh, I know. But sometimes I say things, and they just,
Uh,
oh, mum, they think they're not that interested. You see. Well,
well,
my eldest daughter in Australia, she is she's the eldest one. She's probably more my wavelength, to be honest. It doesn't matter though, it really doesn't matter to me whether they're singing from the same hymn book or not. I mean, we've all got our different characteristics and our different qualities, so we're all different. But yeah, I would say family do keep me grounded. Yeah, definitely.
I got another question for you before we get out of here. I've had, and I've heard other people talk about this,
Mm,
but as I was first waking up, and then periodically over the last 10 years to 11 years, um, but I remember specifically in the early days when I would have, I guess you would call dimensional episodes now in retrospect, there would always be this golden white light that would come in
mm,
and just take over the whole room. And there would always be like a tone with it, again, like those silent angels I was telling you about.
mm.
What does that represent? Is that the angelic consciousness or frequency? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's the angelic with you, yeah. But I also get you do have a connection with an angelic realm called the Elohim,
Hmm.
Elohim, the Elohim. And I think when you speak about the golden light, I get it was the Elohim.
Uh,
The Elohim are also the creator builders, so they are angelic, but they are the ones that strongly can help you to manifest and create. And
well,
I
I
think
just got chills.
you probably create a lot more than you think you do, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mix of um, personal experiences with you that you've needed to go through, as well as being able to manifest and create. So it's just some of the things you may have wanted to manifest and create didn't happen because that was an experience that you needed to go through. Do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's
Okay.
why I remind myself every day I'm not measured by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed, which is in direct proportion to the number of times I try. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can feel what you're saying and the synchronicity of it. I really appreciate that. Is there anything that you wanted to say or do before we head out of here? And I just got to say too, it's just been an absolute honor to be in your presence, and thank you.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. It's been an honour and a great privilege to be in the presence of you as well. And I think that your channel's going to go from strength to strength. I really do. And
Well, there's the angel validation.
that was confirmation. I heard that as well. Yeah, that was definitely
You
confirmation.
can't make this stuff up. You just can't. Uh,
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to have you back on, maybe toward the end of the year or first of next
Of
year if
course,
you're
yeah,
interested. Yeah,
absolutely,
I'll
absolutely.
I'll
Whenever.
send
Mm.
I'll send you a note. But yeah, go ahead. Is there anything you wanted to end with?
Oh, no, I mean, I just thought that I'd come on and have a chat and just I mean, if anybody wants to connect to the Temples of Golden Light, then they can do wherever they are around the world, wherever, and they connect to the rainbow angels that surround the Temples of Golden Light, and they can ask them anything at all.
Far out.
Check out my own website, Temples of Golden Light.
Is it templesofgoldenlight.com?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
templesofgoldlight.com.
Wow.
And I'm on Facebook as well, so I will put you on my 3 Facebooks tomorrow. Well, my
Great.
daughter will do that. She does my social media. I
There
don't have
you go.
time for everything.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you need it. Let me know if you need the MP4 if she just downloads it off of YouTube or
Okay,
Facebook.
yeah.
But if
If
she needs a clean copy, just send me a message and I'll get you one.
Okay, I will do. And then I'll come on later in the year or whenever
Okay.
you want.
I
Okay,
love you and all blessings to you and your beautiful family and your beautiful grandkids.
thank you. Thank you very much. Lots of
We'll,
love.
we'll be back in 5 minutes with Corey McKinnon.